Tonight on CTV3 News, authorities investigate drug trafficking operations following discovery of burnt plane in southern Belize. Hand grenade discovered in abandoned building in San Pedro. High Court reviews legal challenge over UDP leadership. And in some positive news, we'll show you how the students of RHK's preparatory preschool closed Child Stimulation Month. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Monday, March 31st, 2025.
The New World Screwworm poses a significant threat to livestock, pets, and humans. It can cause severe losses if not controlled quickly. Currently, it is not present in Belize. That is why early detection is crucial to prevent its spread. Let us help to keep it out. Don't bring animals from other countries illegally. If you notice maggots, larvae, or worms in unusual wounds, report them immediately. Call Baja at 824-4872 or text 670-7003. Together we can work to keep our country safe from the New World Screwworm and save animals. This message was brought to you by Baja, OIRSA, AICA, USDA, and the Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security, and Enterprise.
Coming soon, Pro FC 16. Get ready for an electrifying night of combat sports as Pro FC takes over the Princess Vegas Hotel and Casino in Corazon on Saturday, May 17th, 2025. Witness 14 adrenaline-fueled fights featuring the fiercest competitors from Belize, Mexico, Canada, and Guatemala, all battling for glory and supremacy in the ring. Pro FC 16. Don't just watch the action. Be part of it. Pro FC 16, exclusive on the Express Plus app.
Get the most out of your internet with Centaur's ExpressNet. Are you ready to supercharge your online experience? When connecting to your Velo Mesh device, make sure you're linked to our blazing fast 5 GHz frequency. Why 5 GHz? Faster speeds at a shorter range. 5 GHz is perfect for use in smaller spaces where speed is your top priority. As for the 2.4 GHz, while connection may travel farther, it can lead to slower performance. Remember, choose 5 GHz for your devices and experience the difference instantly. ExpressNet, bringing you the best speeds for the ultimate online experience. For more information, contact us at 380-0101.
Good evening. With your news also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. Police and BDF officials are currently investigating a potential drug trafficking operation after the remains of a burnt aircraft were discovered on a makeshift airstrip near Graham Creek in the Toledo district, close to the Guatemalan border. On Friday, Brigadier General Azariel Loria, commander of the Belize Defense Force, BDF, confirmed the plane's connection to an organized drug trafficking network. It's a drug trafficking network that we're trying to dismantle in the South, Loria stated, underscoring the ongoing efforts of law enforcement agencies in the area. The investigation unfolded on Friday afternoon when a combined response team from the Belize Police Department and the BDF arrived at the site of the burnt plane. Police Commissioner Chester Williams told the media today that officials found no cargo aboard the aircraft, further complicating the circumstances surrounding its landing.
The operation team remained in the area for a number of days conducting searches in the area with the hope of finding something. And eventually they detained two persons who were found not too far from the vicinity of the plane landing. And those two persons are currently in police custody, being questioned, with a view to ascertain if they have any information that could assist the police in determining who are those behind that plane landing.
Williams also addressed the detention of two police officers, including a sergeant attached to the Special Patrol Unit and the other to the Anti-Narcotics Unit, who were brought in for questioning as part of the investigation.
We had two police officers who were brought in for questioning. And again, that was because of certain information that we were getting. And so it was just done with a view to see if, in fact, the information obtained was accurate and to see if there was any involvement of these officers. But so far, investigators have probed into this matter and we have not found anything to incriminate those two officers as it relates to the plane landing.
A police officer was injured early this morning during an incident outside the Fire nightclub located on Mile 11 Philip Wilson Highway, prompting a swift response from officers. The altercation began at approximately 12:50 a.m. when Corporal Manuel Chubb and a fellow officer were performing routine checks at the nightclub. They were alerted to a suspicious individual on a motorcycle armed with both a firearm and a knife. As Corporal Chubb approached the suspect, identified as 36-year-old Stanley Flowers, a fisherman from Crooked Tree Village, he ordered him to raise his hands. In a split second, Flowers allegedly drew a 9mm pistol and fired multiple shots, striking Corporal Chubb.
Last night, sometime just before midnight, police received information of a male person inside Eruption nightclub compound who was armed with a firearm. Based on that, a team of police officers, Corporal Chubb and another police, went to the area and upon entering the compound, they saw the individual fitting the description as was related to them. They approached the individual and he took out a firearm and fired multiple shots at the vehicle. The police were able to alight the vehicle and upon approaching him, he fired shots at Corporal Chubb, hitting him 4 times. Chubb was rushed to the hospital and I must say that he has been treated and released. He is in good health and good spirit at this time. The individual, after having shot Corporal Chubb, jumped on a motorcycle and made his way towards the Sandhill area. The Sandhill police was notified and they proceeded towards Belize City with a view to see if they would be able to apprehend the individual. And again, they encountered him on the highway, and upon seeing the police mobile, he fired multiple shots at the police mobile, causing severe damages to that vehicle. The police were able to knock him down with the vehicle off his motorcycle, and he was eventually detained, and a firearm, a 9mm pistol, was found on his person. So he was also taken to the hospital for treatment and has also been treated and released, and is now in custody of the police awaiting charges.
Authorities recovered a 9mm Smith & Wesson pistol along with a matching magazine and 8 expended shells at the scene. A routine search operation conducted by police this morning led to the unexpected discovery of a hand grenade in an abandoned building situated north of San Pedro. The discovery was made shortly after 8 a.m. as police teams combed through the area. According to Commissioner of Police Chester Williams, the grenade was found inside one of the rooms.
This morning, sometime after 8 a.m., a team of officers from San Pedro conducted search in an abandoned building situated north of Ambergris Key. The search led to the discovery of a grenade, a hand grenade, inside one of the rooms. That grenade is currently at a secure location. BDF bomb expert has been contacted and should be in San Pedro anytime now to examine the grenade and to destroy it in San Pedro.
On Friday, we told you about the public health concerns which was raised in different municipalities due to contaminated exercise equipment. This notice came following a directive from Dr. Melissa Diaz-Musa, Director of Public Health and Wellness, who informed mayors across all municipalities about excessive lead found in equipment across 3 different municipalities, including here in Orange Walk. The equipment was donated to different municipalities through a partnership between the government of Belize, in partnership with the Ministry of Health and the Embassy of the Republic of China, Taiwan, as they launched the first ever Wellness Parks initiative. Due to the high levels of lead found in the paint, the ministry indicated that all equipment needs to be removed and safely disposed of. The alarming findings were revealed through research conducted by Dr. Joaquin Urbina, Assistant Professor in the Chemistry at the University of Belize, in collaboration with Dr. Adam Kiefer and Dr. Addie Burke from Mercer University. Following their own investigations on the matter, today the Ministry of Health and Wellness spoke on the situation and the next steps for the ministry in terms of creating protocols to prevent similar situations to happen in the future.
The monies were given to the Ministry of Health as part of the Wellness Parks initiative, which was being supported by Taiwan. Taiwan had no bearing in terms of purchasing or selecting. That was a ministry activity, and they purchased it. And I presume that normally when you purchase things, you would make sure that you at least the product that you're purchasing is meeting minimum requirements. And I think this is one where, because most places don't have minimum requirements for lead in paint, then it tends to evade the scrutiny process. And so one would need to be very, very meticulous to say, oh, did we want to have the disclosure of what is lead in paint that is being used on these equipment. And we know that this is a systemic problem in China itself, where a lot of these products are being made. They don't meet the necessary standards. And so probably due diligence is something that we would need to look at and to ensure, because if you buy it from the US, you would probably anywhere you'd probably think that they're meeting standards, but sometimes you need to ask, and that's the only way that somebody would declare, well, this is the specific level, and then we would determine, well, it's not meeting what would be the standard for safety.
And while increased exposure to lead is harmful to the human body, Principal Public Health Inspector John Bowden says concerns about immediate side effects affecting Belizeans who have accessed this equipment since 2019.
Okay, well, the first thing is that we would need to know what is the condition of the machine itself. Has the paint been flaking? Because only if there's the flaking of the paint, then you would start having impact to the environment and to individuals itself. No, I personally have not seen this equipment from a close purview, but it's possible that now there might be some wearing that is happening on this equipment, and those areas where you most likely would have had contact with might be where you get the most wear and tear on the equipment. No, so initially you will not see any kind of signs or symptoms because it takes a prolonged period of time before you start seeing the impact of having any kind of poisoning associated with lead. And you must realize that lead is a natural occurring element in the environment itself. So notwithstanding we're measuring or gauging lead in other materials, naturally it's found within the environment that we live in. And so if you would test people right now, you will expect to find some level of lead in everybody's body. Okay, as I said, it's too premature at this time for people to even start having the side effects. And so if you would visit, probably you might not even start diagnosing anything because it takes a while. It's an accumulation issue. So it's over a prolonged period of time that you have to be exposed that you would start feeling anything. I'm not sure exactly what is the specific test that they do, but it's normally associated with the blood that they test. And that would give an indication as to what level of exposure it has. I think that would have to be measured then against the baseline. The baseline is 90 milligrams per and 90 ppm. So that would be the gauge that you would use to look at 90 and what would be the value that they have currently.
With the emergence of this incident, Bowden says the ministry is now looking at ways it can work with other stakeholders to increase vigilance on the detection of these harmful substances, particularly in areas where children interact.
It should stimulate us to say this is something that we need to be proactive with because as you did mention that I could recall last week at the Polydima school, the equipment that was actually installed there is of bright yellow. And what happened with the lead, it normally is used because it tends to radiate the color much more. And, children are gravitated to bright colors and so forth. And I do see some of the PlayStation with that, the playgrounds with that color. And it might need some testing to see whether those might have standards that probably either meet or exceed the limits. I do believe that, and now we know that the university can perform the test in-house, and so we can, of course, utilize their services. I would be the first to say that, yes, we need to have some kind of program that would monitor and regulate what is coming into the country. And I think that's where we start off with the Bureau of Standards, establishing what are the limits for whatever products that we're bringing in. Notwithstanding that, products are still in the country, and so we would need to ensure that we do testing on at least some of the major equipment that are used, for example, in the gyms, and then, of course, looking at other products that might be on the market that might be tainted with lead and might not be known to us at this current moment. But, of course, I think some of the big-ticketed items are items that are used frequently that we must look at. For example, as we said, the metal sheeting that is used, and other products that would use a lot of paint to conceal the type of metal structure. No, so those would be things. There are different standards when it comes to mercury, for example, in terms of bridges. The type of paint that is used in there has a higher level of lead in it, and basically so to actually build that level of resistance for the marine nature and so forth. No, so but yes, I would be one of the first to say yes, we need to have a program and start to monitor and see where that takes us.
Tonight, we can confirm that both sets of equipment here in Orange Walk, including in the Union Town Park and on Price Avenue, have successfully been removed. Coming up next, Belize the sugar industries raises cane price estimate and challenges in sugarcane production. Stay tuned.
Coming soon, Pro FC 16. Get ready for an electrifying night of combat sports as Pro FC takes over the Princess Vegas Hotel and Casino in Corozal on Saturday, May 17th, 2025. Witness 14 adrenaline-fueled fights featuring the fiercest competitors from Belize, Mexico, Canada, and Guatemala, all battling for glory and supremacy in the ring. Pro FC 16. Don't just watch the action, be part of it. Pro FC 16, exclusive on the Express Plus app.
Get the most out of your internet with Centaur's ExpressNet. Are you ready to supercharge your online experience? When connecting to your Velo Mesh device, make sure you're linked to our blazing fast 5 GHz frequency. Why 5 GHz? Faster speeds at a shorter range. 5 GHz is perfect for use in smaller spaces where speed is your top priority. As for the 2.4 GHz, while connection may travel farther, it can lead to slower performance. Remember, choose 5 GHz for your devices and experience the difference instantly. ExpressNet, bringing you the best speeds for the ultimate online experience. For more information, contact us at 380-0101.
When will Commissioner of Police Chester Williams transition to the Ministry of Transport to hold over as CEO? This morning, the Compo reiterated his impending departure from the Belize Police Department, confirming that discussions regarding his exit are already underway with the Cabinet Secretary. His statements come amidst questions surrounding the legitimacy of a letter reportedly issued by the CEO in the Ministry of Transport, suggesting he should assume the role of a caretaker until a formal transition is complete. Williams clarified the authority of the letter, stating that the CEO has no authority to write the matter.
I will only say that the CEO has no authority to write such letter. I've not seen it, but if that is so, she has no authority. My appointment comes from the Governor General, and so only the Governor General can alter the terms of my my authority as Commissioner of Police or the Prime Minister. So that is all I'm going to say in respect of that. In terms of my timeline, I have advised the Cabinet Secretary that I want to leave as quick as possible. It's a matter of the Cabinet Secretary and the Prime Minister working out my exit package. And once that is done, then I am prepared to leave. I am excited about going to take over my new role. I believe that it is going to be something good for me. It's a new opportunity for me to be able to go and apply myself with a view to see how I can continue to contribute to the safety of this country. So,
Williams' transition is likely to mark a significant shift in the leadership of the Belize Police Department as he prepares for new challenges ahead while expressing gratitude for his time in service. Belize Sugar Industries Limited BSI has announced its latest estimated average cane price for the 2025 crop, now set at $54.31 per ton, marking an increase from the previous estimate of $53.75 per ton. The company credits this adjustment to marginal improvements in the estimated prices for USA raw sugar and export direct consumption DC sugar. However, BSI cautioned that this positive development has been tempered by adjustments made by the estimated tons cane per tons sugar TCTS ratio. This adjustment has arisen from year-to-date results, reflecting variations in the quality of cane due to ongoing challenges, particularly the emergence of fusarium, a newly impacted disease threatening sugarcane supplies. In light of these challenges, BSI's projections estimate that 950,000 tons of cane will be available for milling this season. This amount translates to a TCTS ratio of 11. Notably, these projections are based on expected deliveries from local farmers and not the mill's full capacity. From the projected 950,000 tons of cane, BSI anticipates producing about 86,363 tons of sugar and 32,725 tons of molasses. Out of this, 15,747 tons of sugar, comprise of 11,810 tons of plantation white sugar, PWS, and 3,937 tons as brown sugar, will be allocated for local consumption. Furthermore, 9,842 tons of molasses will also be directed towards the local market. On the export front, around 30,973 tons of raw sugar are expected to be sold to the European Union (EU) at an estimated cost, including shipping, of $433.85 per metric ton. Additionally, BSI plans to send 11,102 tons of sugar to the U.S. market at a free on-board FOB price of $600 per metric ton. Another 9,842 tons of bagged DC sugar will be sold to T&L Sugars Limited at a projected FOB price of $530 per metric ton, with an additional 10,039 tons to be exported to the EU under a mix of CIF and FOB shipping terms. BSI also revealed the potential for significant revenue generation from the local and Caribbean markets, forecasting that the export of 8,661 tons of bagged brown sugar will yield an estimated net revenue of $7.7 million Belize dollars. As the sugar industry navigates these complexities, BSI acknowledged that freight rates for export shipments remain uncertain, as actual costs will only be finalized at the time the vessels are chartered for the 2025 crop. This latest update from Belize Sugar Industries Limited highlights the dynamic interplay between market conditions and challenges within the agricultural sector, particularly as the industry grapples with both opportunities and potential setbacks from the emerging Fusarium disease. The High Court has begun examining a legal contention regarding the leadership of the United Democratic Party, UDP, brought forward by former opposition leader Moses Cheyenne Barrow against current leader of the opposition, Tracy Panton, and ex-UDP Secretary General Philippa Bailey. Barrow's legal representative, Christopher Malcolm, contended that the recent Unity Convention held on October 20th was void due to several procedural shortcomings, including failure to provide adequate notice and a lack of verification on voter eligibility, citing a Jamaican case. He also questioned the authority behind the appointment of the new executive committee. After the proceeding, Barrow addressed the media, emphasizing that the absence of a unified agreement among party members underscored the importance of continuing the legal proceedings to settle the dispute despite the results of the general elections and him handing over the leadership to Ugo Pat.
We have a few objectives. For those of us that would want to be Prime Minister of this country one day, or to sit in cabinet, or even to sit in the National Assembly, we have to demonstrate to the public that we adhere to the rule of law and that we will be compliant with whatever oath of office it is that we take. That is number one. Number two, I demonstrated that when the former party chairman, Michael Perfit, when he disagreed with my interpretation, because you interviewed me and you said to me straight out, why don't you hand over to Ugo? And one of the reasons I didn't want to hand over to Ugo, because I was afraid that the process would not be seen through and we would end up right back at square one. However, once the party chairman as the authority in the party, the ultimate authority in the party, barring the MPC and the National Convention, disagreed with my position that, I continued to be leader until another leader was elected, I yielded to the party chairman, right? However, it was my hope, because I spoke to the party chairman, and he had mentioned that he spoke to Ugo, and Ugo understands that, he has to maintain the interim leadership until another national convention is called. But what proceeded was Ms. Pantan saying, "Shai never need to resign. We resign here October 20th," maintaining that she and her cabal are the central executive and the duly elected leaders, which I reject, Alberto August reject, Shari Medina reject, a majority of us reject. So nothing was solved by my resignation. And that is why we have to continue with court.
According to Barrow, the UDP is the National Party Council. NPC, under the leadership of Alberto August, is the sole authoritative entity capable of resolving issues concerning leadership.
There is only one MPC, and that MPC is chaired by Alberto August, right? But Pantan maintains that they have their own MPC, and that October 20th was valid. So they have their own chairman, they have their own deputy chairman, and nothing that we say has mattered since October 20th. So whatever they do at their MPC, we maintain the same, that is invalid and it doesn't matter until the court decides. And again, I had resigned to give space for a resolution, not for Ugo Pat. He's my brother, my friend. I don't want to say anything ill against him, but it wasn't. He has no authority to hand over the party to Tracy Pantan.
But he has the authority to not take it up.
No.
Then it goes to the most senior parliamentarian.
No. That's for the leader of the opposition. Okay. As far as the party is concerned, then it would go to the party chairman. What I'm saying is the resolution would be to accept that October 20th was not valid, to recognize Alberto August, say, Alberto, call the MPC and test the majority, because they could very well have the numbers to reverse things, to put things in place that would see Ms. Pantan become leader of the proper UDP. But they refused to do that, and they maintain that October 20th is valid, and it was not.
And while Shine Barrow is singing his own tune, on the other side, the defense, spearheaded by King's Counsel Peter Knox, stood firm on the validity of the delegates' vote, arguing that their decisions should be upheld.
They didn't do what they were supposed to be doing, so of course Mrs. Panton was entitled to give effect to the delegates' rights the way she did. That was the argument. I think it's a good and respectable argument. We shall see what the judge has to say about it. I think the point was taken against us that we didn't involve the Secretary-General, and that, they say, is something which will result in, they say, the convention being invalid. We say, no, it's true we didn't involve the Secretary-General. That makes no difference at all, because we did absolutely everything which she was supposed to do, we did ourselves in any event. We say, if you like, all the letters went out. It makes no difference whether it was us who sent them out or the Secretary-General. The fact is they all went out. And so everyone knew about the convention, everyone had the relevant documents, so what does it matter that we sent the documents out, not her? Now again, that's a matter the judge will have to consider. They say, the other side say, no, it's got to go through the Secretary-General, and if it doesn't, well, that's the end of it. Being a delegate's a very important job. If you are a delegate, it must follow that rights given to you by the Constitution must be upheld. They're serious rights, and that is because the structure of the Constitution is what I said was a bottom-up Constitution. It starts at constituency level, and it's the constituents, and in particular the delegates of the constituents, who are a fundamental part of the party. That is why we say they are given these powerful rights to call for a national convention, regardless of what National Party Council might say, or regardless of what the Central Executive Committee says, or the chairman.
And as expected, Tracy Panton defended her leadership when she spoke to the media today.
The people of this country have spoken. The delegates of the United Democratic Party have spoken. And I am the leader of the opposition in the National Assembly, unanimously supported by all members on the opposition side who get to make that determination.
Is it your view that an exercise like a mediation outside of this hearing would be in futility as well because of all that has taken place?
We certainly tried, as you know, bent backward, if you will, for a mediated process to happen. There is no need to waste, in my opinion, the time of the court when the will of the delegates should not be thwarted by a technicality. In my view, every single attempt to seek mediation, and even before coming to court today, to ask for let's withdraw this matter and let's settle it within, has been denied by the claimants. So we're here because they've dragged us here. In my opinion, this does not help the party moving forward. We have to move forward. We have to accept the will of the delegates. We have to accept the will of the electorate. He certainly was not voted in terms of his constituency. And we have to accept the role and responsibility of the leader of the opposition in the House.
In light of rising concerns regarding the safety of officers during operations, Police Commissioner Chester Williams has underscored the vital role that bulletproof vests play in protecting law enforcement personnel. The Commissioner explained that while the procurement of these protective garments poses a significant challenge due to their steep price tags, it is important to acknowledge that the cost is minimal compared to the potential loss of an officer's life while on duty.
We have tried our best to obtain some recently. We are hoping that we'll be able to get some more, and it has to be done incrementally. The cost of bulletproof vests is expensive, but at the same time, I must say it is far less than if an officer were to be killed in the line of duty because of not having one. We would pay more to bury that officer and to give to his family. So it is more effective for us to be able to get these vests, and so it is something that we have to discuss and see what we can do to be able to make sure that every police officer has one. So it's a discussion that we must have.
Discussions continue. The hope is that more resources will be allocated to enhance the protective measure in place for those who serve and protect the community. Today was the official closing of Child Stimulation Month at RHK's preparatory preschool. To celebrate the official close of the month-long activities, the institution hosted a special open day which saw participation from its students and parents. RHK's, which is located at the heart of Tral Farm Village, focuses primarily on each intervention for students who are on the autism spectrum. Today's event focused on skills which students are exposed to, which were skillfully presented by parents and their children. Founder and primary educator at RHK, Rebecca Hernandez, today shared more about the institution and the importance of today's activity.
RHK is a non-profit private organization, institution then, because we don't get any funding from anybody. This is strictly Rebecca Hernandez and her pension. That we're doing this for the community, and the parents are charged a fee, monthly fee, and that all that goes back into the institution for materials and everything. So today's activity was just a closure to the Child Stimulation Month, even though RHKs does stimulation the whole year through. Okay, because these children need to be stimulated. I have a population of 9 autistic children, and we do everything from occupational, speech, behavioral, and physical therapy here at the school. And today was the culminating activity in where the children showcase their work. The parents, they give strategies that they implement. And monthly, we have a meeting whereby the parents are trained to deal and cope with the situation, different situations that their children present while at home.
In an effort to educate our community about autism is and how special children on the spectrum truly are, today some of the parents shared what they have learned in their journey at RHKs along with their children.
We're here to talk about speech development. How it has helped my child is the knowledge of learning the tablet itself, what's called a tablet, helps them to express what they want by pointing out in the tablet what is exactly what they want or how we can help them. And RHK school has helped my child in socializing more with other kids, which he didn't used to do, but now he does play with kids and is learning to a little words or two to start saying now.
Library helps. It helps the children through. It teaches them to learn to read a book. It promotes literacy skills and it preserves the history. So parents with autistic child, you should help your babies by bringing them to the library and give them some things, the type of book that they like. Example, if your baby likes animals, you give them books of animals, you show them the pictures, you give them the toys of the animals, for example, the horse, and yes, that's about it.
Good morning. Today we're going to be teaching you about social emotional for autistic children. Okay, so how social emotional can help these kids? It can help them. We need to understand first what is a social emotional. It's a breakdown, a meltdown when they are. We need to know if they're happy, sad. How do we know that? First, we need to understand if they're able to tag, are they verbal, non-verbal. We need to learn these things about the children. So social, emotional, for these autistic children, we need to learn all of these things. If how will we support them in a meltdown? Okay, some of them, they don't like hugging, they don't like the children speak hugging them, but they need that time. So we have the trampoline or the bouncy house, and they go and relax on the trampoline. They jump, they release their stress, they stop crying. Once their brains are moving, they need that little brain to be moving so it can process the little tantrum, the little breakdown, meltdown that they're having. Some parents that have autistic children, it's not something hard, something difficult. We only need to learn how to work with them.
Jalen's dad, I just want to speak about communication and speech and how it has helped Jalen throughout the year. I've noticed that the constant routine of doing certain speech practices has helped him tremendously because what I've noticed is that he needs constant reinforcements of certain routines so he can stay with him much longer. Speech has been improved much more since he started school, and watching other kids interact, and at home as well. We do practice with him, but being at school and seeing other kids do the same, I feel like has helped him so much more. All children that have autism, you have to stay having a routine for them so they learn. Because if you don't constantly be behind them and stuff, they tend to regress and not want to do that same whatever the activity they do or whatever you have taught them. They don't. It doesn't stick with them. So I definitely see a lot more improvement since he started school and being around kids, and then the teacher teaching them the same thing over and over, so they stick with it. So I just want to encourage everyone to definitely reach out and be very oh yes, you have to be very patient with your child so that you help them throughout their lifetime.
Good morning, welcome to the Fine Motor Skills area. Today we'll be learning what is fine motor skills and the importance of fine motor skills. So we'll begin with what is fine motor skills. Fine motor skills is the precise movements that we make with our hands, fingers, feet and toes. They allow us to do countless tasks every day. For example, buttoning our shirts, combing our hair, brushing our teeth, even tying our shoelace. Fine motor skills are very important in early childhood development. Without fine motor skills, a child's self-esteem, academic performance, play options, and even life skills can be affected. So I encourage and urge all parents to believe in your children, encourage them every day, practice with them these activities so that they can develop their fine motor skills well. And also remember that everyone develops and learn at their own pace. You just have to keep practicing with them and eventually they will learn.
And as we now head into Autism Awareness Month, Hernandez says, as a community, we must educate ourselves and embrace our students on a daily basis.
It's just the importance of it is, first of all, accepting. The acceptance part. Once you accept that your child is autistic, okay, we get to work along real well, and it facilitates everything because it takes the parents, it takes the teacher, it takes the whole community. Once the community is aware of these children, then we can see progress. We must not hide these shining light, okay? We must let them grow and grow. It is my passion for teaching and the desire to create a better world. These children need to be included. They are highly intelligent, very talented. Maybe you have seen I posted for the Festival of Arts. This year was the first year that we took part of it, not as a competition, but we went to do a special presentation. And one child, Kezia Hernandez, she is so brave. Not because she's my granddaughter, right? But she sang with just one small voice. And I hope and pray that the people out there listen to this song and know that with just one small voice, we can create a better community and have them included in all aspects of life. We should not look at them as different because they are like us and even better than us because they come with a pure heart. And we must cherish these children and love them very much.
And there is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
Get the most out of your internet with Centaur's ExpressNet. Are you ready to supercharge your online experience? When connecting to your Velo Mesh device, make sure you're linked to our blazing fast 5 GHz frequency. Why 5 GHz? Faster speeds at a shorter range. 5 GHz is perfect for use in smaller spaces where speed is your top priority. As for the 2.4 GHz, while connection may travel farther, it can lead to slower performance. Remember, choose 5 GHz for your devices and experience the difference instantly. ExpressNet, bringing you the best speeds for the ultimate online experience. For more information, contact us at 380-0101.
Belize is hosting the CARICOM Single Market and Economy CSME National Border Control Officers Attachment Program. This program was made possible by the general support of the 11th European Development Fund, EDF, under the Strengthening the Framework of CARICOM Integration and Cooperation Process, SFCICP program. Ambassador Amalia Mai, Chief Executive Officer for Foreign Affairs, Foreign Trade and Culture in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Trade, Culture and Immigration, delivered the welcoming remarks, emphasizing the growing significance of border control officers in facilitating seamless trade and travel while safeguarding regional security. She highlighted that this program is designed to equip participants with the essential knowledge, skills, and tools to excel in this critical role. She also emphasized that Belize remains committed to fostering an exchange of experiences, promoting mutual learning and growth. Ambassador Mai encouraged the participants to enjoy the food and warmth of Belize. Shona Kwame, Project Officer for Finance at the CARICOM Secretariat, reinforced the importance of sharing best practices across member states to advance regional integration. By highlighting the role of youth in policy development, Marissa Cervantes, the CARICOM Youth Ambassador, emphasized the need for young people to be actively involved in decision-making, innovation, and advocacy. Belize is the first CARICOM member state to host this week-long initiative, which will be replicated in other members in today's interconnected world. He highlighted their role in tourism, security, administrative efficiency, trade, and economic growth. In a significant step towards strengthening Belize's justice system, the Community Rehabilitation Department has received essential information and communication technology (ICT) equipment valued at $95,396 Belize dollars. This initiative is part of the Peace Justice Project funded by the European Union (EU) and implemented by the United Nations Development Program (UNDP). The project aims to enhance the capacity of the Adult Probation Unit by improving case management in adult alternative sentencing. This initiative aligns with the recent Alternative Sentencing Act 2024, which seeks to address critical challenges within the Belizean criminal justice system, including prison overcrowding, case backlogs, and the limited availability of non-custodial sentencing options. The Act prioritizes alternative sentencing mechanisms such as probation services, which focus on rehabilitation, supervision, and community reintegration, offering a more effective approach to justice for low-risk offenders. Mr. Michael Lund, Deputy Resident Representative of UNDP, and Roxana Ailman-Richards, Inclusive Growth, Digitalization, and Governance Project Analyst, officially handed over the 34 all-in-one desktops and 10 printer scanners to CEO Adele Katsim Sanchez on behalf of the Community Rehabilitation Department. These resources will equip 34 social workers and 10 intake officers, enabling them to digitize records, streamline documentation, and improve overall efficiency in managing probation cases. The Peace Justice Project, under which this initiative is implemented, remains a crucial component of Belize's justice system modernization efforts. By leveraging digital solutions and alternative sentencing mechanisms, Belize continues to advance towards a more efficient, rehabilitative, and just legal framework. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Tuesday, April 1st, here on CTV3 News and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/CTV3BelizeNews or our YouTube channel at CTV3 News BZ. From all of us here at CTV3 News, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.